UGARTE and Moises CAICEDO have both got showdown cards. But who's better in game? I'm going to head into rivals with this squad with CAICEDO at centre mid and UGARTE at DM, and then flip them round to find out who's best. Let's go! Game 1 for this duo is against a very odd team, but sure. Let's see if either of them stand out in each of their roles. So CAICEDO's playing as the centre mid in this first set of games, and so we're going to try and utilise his passing because he does have really, really good stats in that regard. And so hopefully, sort of like a deep playmaker. And UGARTE is going to be playing as the CDM in this game, hopefully providing some good defensive cover. But maybe picking out a pass or two like that through to the forwards in this team. Nice little drive forward by UGARTE. We can get him a little bit further forward. Why not? Test it out. Apparently that's why not. Horrible through ball. Can CAICEDO provide us with something here? Nice ball through to Griezmann. Let's try and get him involved again. Decent tight dribbling. And then one final pass through to Griezmann. I mean, he did quite well in the build-up there. We don't quite score, but still. I do have Van Dijk from corners, but for the sake of the video, we're going to try and score one with CAICEDO! So close! It's another good ball by CAICEDO to find Adama. And that is an assist for him. Not bad. Ooh, UGARTE with the 4-star skills is quite nice. UGARTE finds himself very far forward here. Decent dribble. Just going to leather one. Not the best effort. UGARTE to CAICEDO. Link them both up in play. CAICEDO with a little dribble forward. Maybe a little 1-2 with Foden here. He's got very, very nice passing. His stats are very high in that department, and so it does feel like if you're using him as a box-to-box midfielder, especially in the attacking sense, he is going to help you in that build-up play. Whereas UGARTE is doing his job defensively quite well so far. However, even when he's got on the ball, when I'm trying to play it forward in these kind of instances, he's doing relatively well. Let's give him another chance. These driven passes up to the forwards are pretty good. And again, he does have 4-star skills, so see what we can do with a little bit of dribbling here. Not the best from me. CAICEDO driving down this left-hand side. Doesn't quite have the pace to really be that troublesome in that regard. UGARTE getting stuck in, doing his defensive duties, helping covering the fullback there. Good tackle by UGARTE. Through to CAICEDO. Little 1-2 with Foden here, and then maybe we can get a through ball to Adama off here. It's not bad. We do have tiki-taka on CAICEDO as well as ping pass, which should mean that whenever he is playing the ball, ground passes should be more accurate, which is a problem that a lot of people have on this game. And ping ground passes should be really accurate, which is why we can play this into the feet of these players like this and really have a lot of accuracy here. Nearly leads to a goal. Good interception by CAICEDO there. Another nice driven pass in. See what his shooting's all about. Not quite the finish there. 1-2 with Enzo for UGARTE. Manages to dribble past him. He does have the 4-star skill moves, which means he's a bit more useful in attack. He does also have decent passing stats. Shame about the finish there, but he can also get involved. I'm really intrigued to see how these players are going to do when I flip them round. Let's see if we can go at the pitch, just these two together. UGARTE into CAICEDO is what we're aiming for. CAICEDO finds himself really far forward here. Cut inside finesse. Not quite got the shooting stats, it feels like. Which, when you look at them, especially without a chem style, it's not really that surprising. See if we can utilise a little bit of the dribbling of UGARTE here. 4-star skills, technical dribble, and then a pass through to Adama. It is quite nice. First game impressions. CAICEDO really, really nice on the ball. UGARTE doing relatively well at defensive mid. Game 2, and we're sticking with CAICEDO at centre mid for this one. And then we'll switch after this game. UGARTE does have long ball. Let's trigger a run by Phil Foden and then go for a ping to him. It's actually a really good ball. CAICEDO is always looking for that ping pass through the lines. And his first time passing with the tiki-taka playstyle has been really, really impressive. Another drilled pass into Adama Traore there, and if it isn't for my poor finishing, he gets an assist. Technical dribbling and 4-star skills does allow you to get out of situations from defensive mid with a UGARTE. However, the 3-star weak foot means that passing feels a bit more risky because you have to have it on his right foot. The first time passing on this CAICEDO is really, really impressing me. And we do finally get him the assist that he deserves. He could have had 3 in this game. And that 4-star weak foot is really helpful when picking out the passes because you don't have to feel like it always goes onto his strong foot. As a centre mid, maybe you would prefer the 4-star skills, but we'll find out in the next game when we flip them round. So let's pull my right back out of position here. Let's pull Araujo all the way over here. And look at UGARTE. He did sort of start to fill in that centre-back role. And he is getting in the way right there, tracking the attacker quite well. That's impressive, and that is the kind of thing that you're looking for in a defensive mid. CAICEDO's passing with tiki-taka, when you're just doing it first time, feels very, very clean. And then he can just ping it in to the feet of your forward as well. This card's really impressive on the ball. Nice interception by UGARTE. AI defending on that one, which is a big part of this game. One thing UGARTE has with his 4-star skills and dribbling is the bruiser playstyle, which means in situations like this, if we hold the left trigger, it's hard for my opponent to actually get the ball off of me. It also means if we're going in for a defensive challenge, he's going to have the strength and aggression to be able to get that ball back easier. So now we've played a couple of games, we are going to swap these two around and see whether the positives and negatives we found so far are worse or better in this alternate position. These SBCs are actually really well valued at about 45,000 coins each. However, if you do need some coins to be able to obtain them, you can go to U7Buy. The link will be in the description of the video. Make sure you use code Birdie at checkout for the biggest discount on your coins. Let's get into the next game. That is one hell of a midfield to come up against when you are testing out some cards. This is going to be a fantastic show of how these players perform. So this time we have UGARTE as the centre mid and CAICEDO as the defensive mid. UGARTE can now utilise his dribbling and 4-star skill moves a little bit more, and CAICEDO, we can see what he is like defensively and physically. With CAICEDO in this role, he does have the press-proven playstyle, which means even when players get near him, he's still going to be composed on the ball. Combine that with the fact he has relentless, and CAICEDO is going to be running for you the entire game. Great tackle by CAICEDO. UGARTE. This is where the 4-star skills really come into their own. When you are playing in midfields, you got technical, you've got 4-star. You can get past them all. That's a great calm interception by CAICEDO. Fizzes it even from defensive mid. I think ping pass is really, really good for that because he can just get that ball forward and into the feet of an attacker, even from a deep midfield position. CAICEDO does really, really well. And then starts an attack, and we are away. Well read by the defender, though. Still score. I think that was actually a perfect example of what CAICEDO will bring you at defensive mid. Win the ball back and instantly do a driven pass into one of your forwards, and you can start an attack from really deep. UGARTE without that playstyle can't quite do the same. But unlike my formation, if you're playing with wingers, UGARTE you could do similar with the lobbed ball pass and ping it with a lob through ball or just a cross pass all the way to a winger on the far side. So depending on your formation and the way you play, you can utilize each of their passing playstyles to your advantage. But these seem like two really well valued cards as it stands. CAICEDO's just all over him. And now he's going to get involved in an attack. Once again, just fizzing that ball. That ping pass playstyle is vital to the way that I play the game. we got ourselves a goal. And the rage quit because he also got sent off. Our final game with the battle between the two midfielders. Tom Cannon, Leicester legend. Interesting squad. Matuidi is going to be a good battle in midfield. Let's get UGARTE involved in the first attack of the game. See what he can do here. Maybe a little bit of technical dribbling around Bonmati. The shooting, it's a green timed finesse shot and he still missed the target. That's quite poor. I wouldn't really rely on either of these guys going forward. Oh, that's so well read by CAICEDO's AI. Right there. Finds that pinged pass into Adama Traore once again. Another interception by CAICEDO. And another attack started by how quickly he can get the ball forward. He could bang a power shot though. Oh, that's actually the best shot out of the both of them that we've had. That says a lot. They're definitely better suited for build-up play and winning the ball back than they are getting involved in goal scoring. CAICEDO finds himself in a good amount of space. Finds Griezmann. And that is a lovely assist. Before we even get into the final review and recommendations, I have to say, these cards are both solid. For their price, really, really good value. CAICEDO feels like if Kante had really good passing, whereas UGARTE feels a bit more like a Tonali, a bit more of a heavy-set midfielder, which is fine if you want more of a bruiser, tank, defensive mid, but at centre mid, I don't quite think that he's really performing in the way that CAICEDO does, because of the way that I think this game plays best in terms of pinging passes. UGARTE, go on! Oh, still can't score a goal. With him once again showing why I don't really think you should use either of these cards as proper box-to-box midfielders. Got UGARTE, we've got CAICEDO. Back to UGARTE. CAICEDO, come on, stay forward. Here we go. Can they work together? CAICEDO's put it wide. So these guys cannot work as full-on box-to-box players that you're expecting to start and finish attacks. They are good in build-up play, great defensively, but I would be terrified to have either of them being relied upon to get me any goals. So let's get into the final review for each of these cards, and it's going to be a little bit different today because we're comparing them against each other. UGARTE has 4-star, 3-star, whereas CAICEDO has 3-star, 4-star. Because neither of these guys can really play an attacking midfielder role, I think that the 3-star, 4-star is actually better. It provides you a lot more versatility in your passing. You don't really need to be doing skill moves at defensive mid, maybe as a centre mid, but not too many. In terms of the differences in attributes, their pace is very similar and is fine between both of them. Neither of these cards feel like they can shoot at all. UGARTE has better attacking positioning, but both of them have 70 or below finishing, and you can't rely on them. When it comes to passing, UGARTE's stats are actually pretty decent, and I just used a basic chem style on these because we were moving them between two different positions. CAICEDO's passing stats are better, and they definitely felt it. In terms of dribbling, CAICEDO actually has worse stats than UGARTE in terms of his composure, his dribbling, and his reactions. Yet, because he's a couple of inches smaller, I actually didn't feel like his dribbling was any worse. Maybe it's also because he has press proven as a playstyle that he feels smooth. When it comes to the defending stats, if you're using them as a defensive mid, this is very important. CAICEDO just about edges it in some of these stats, but physicals, we've got slightly better jumping, the same stamina, worse strength on CAICEDO, and worse aggression. So UGARTE is a bit more of a beast, but CAICEDO feels better on the ball. Their playstyles do actually differ quite a lot. UGARTE has technical, which it's nice to have, but not really necessary for his position. Long ball pass, as I explained in the gameplay, I don't use, but some of you might if you use winger formations. That could be really good for you. Jockey's good, intercept is good, slide tackle's fine, bruiser is really good as a CDM. You don't really need it as a centre mid. Whereas CAICEDO, we've got pinged pass, which I think is pivotal this game because you need to be drilling passes into your forward players or your attacking mid. And I think that this is a really good playstyle for CDM or centre mid. if you're playing him as a DM, you can win the ball back and instantly ping it forward to somebody to start an attack. I think this playstyle is a big difference maker between these two cards. He also has tiki-taka, which I think is very, very underrated this year as well. Intercept on both of them, slide tackle on both, but CAICEDO also has anticipate, which is really, really good as a defensive midfielder as well. Press proven, another underrated playstyle, which means that he can just keep control of the ball more and not really worry about people that are around him as much. Combine that with relentless, and it means that he can just get involved in second man pressing and just running around like a madman at the base of midfield a lot longer for you. When it comes to their roles, we have holding plus and centre half plus plus on UGARTE, and then box to box if you're playing him as a centre mid. I don't think box to box is great because his shooting stats aren't fantastic. Centre half, if you utilise that as a role, I think he will fit that really well. The bruiser, the physicality stats, he will be really good at that. I personally play a holding defensive midfielder, and he was okay there. For CAICEDO, you have holding plus, which is, again, the same, good, but deep lying playmaker plus plus. If you utilize that role, this card is amazing there. He will win the ball back, and then utilizing his ping pass and tiki-taka and his ridiculously good short and long passing stats, he can get that ball forward really quickly. And he also has deep lying playmaker plus from centre mid as well. So out of the two of them, do I think that one is better than the other? Because they both cost the same. The answer is yes. I personally believe that CAICEDO is the better of these two cards for a couple of reasons. I think 3-star, 4-star for this kind of player is better. His combination of passing stats with his playstyles mean that you can start winning the ball back with your intercept and anticipate, and then just ping it into the feet of another midfielder or a forward really quickly. His dribbling stats actually felt better than they look as well, and he does have the versatility with a chemistry style to be more suited to a centre mid or more suited to a defensive mid. For example, an anchor if you're playing him in that DM role. To sum it up, I'm going to use CAICEDO in my Foot Champs team on this account this weekend. UGARTE's not getting in that team. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. We've got another review coming up tomorrow. Hopefully I'll see you there. Goodbye.